So, Ben, basically, I was recruited into the Moonies cult in 1974, the same month Patty Hearst was abducted by the Symbionese Liberation Army, I might add, and became radicalized to become a right-wing fascist who believed that democracy was satanic, that we had to infiltrate the government. I actually was sent to fast for 3 days for Richard Nixon, who I hated before the Moonies cult indoctrination. And there I am saying God wants Nixon to be president despite Watergate. And now we're literally 50 years later, the same right-wing, extremist, religious, Christian-esque people have infiltrated politics and are using their followers. So to answer your question briefly, I have an influence continuum. In fact, my podcast is that name, and it's on the Midas Touch Network. Thank you so much, Micelis Brothers. And so if you think about influence on a continuum, there's ethical influence and healthy groups, and all the way over to the destructive end of authoritarianism. And I define this authoritarian mind control cultism as controlling people's behavior, information, thoughts, and emotions to create a new identity that's dependent and obedient on the leadership and the ideology. So speaking as a mental health professional, I'm a licensed mental health counselor. What we have is a dissociative disorder. And like I went from Steve Hassan, the nice middle-class Jewish boy, to a right-wing fascist who thought the Holocaust was justified, when I had my near-fatal van crash and was deprogrammed and understand that we were doing Chinese communist brainwashing techniques were used on me, and I was doing it on other people, that changed my entire direction of my life. And so using that as a prism, when I was asked to write The Cult of Trump, I knew Trump was a malignant narcissist, which is the stereotypical profile of all destructive cult leaders. But what I didn't know until I got into researching the book was that the cult of Trump was comprised by authoritarian cults who were telling their followers largely that God is using Donald Trump and that Biden and the Democrats are all satanic and even trafficking babies and children, etc. So that's a short answer to your question, but I'm happy to keep going.